Hey everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new here, my name is Enid, and in today's video, I'm finally going to get started on the bee journal that I've been wanting to make. This will be journal number 3 for me, so I'm still learning, but I think I'm getting better. Anyway, sit tight and I'll be right back and we'll get started. So let's start this bee journal by making the cover. I'm going to use a file folder and I'm going to cut it down to 6 by 9. And this is a folder that I had used a while ago just to sort of show how a template is used. So I'm going to go ahead and erase these marks because I'm not going to use those. Oops, there goes my pencil eraser. Anyway. So I'm gonna erase these marks, and I'm gonna try to make this journal with a much thicker spine. So I'm gonna use the entire spine of the folder, and let me see. That's gonna be let me use this. 3/4 of an inch. So that's how big my spine is going to be. So I'm going to cut this down to 9 inches. Oops. Sorry. I'm going to cut this down to 9 inches, and my blade on this is not very good. So I'm just going to go ahead and extend the arm, measure 9 inches for the height of the journal. Because I'm going to use 8.5 by 11 papers. So 6 by 9 will be perfect for the papers folded in half. So then I'm going to from the first measurement of the spine, the first crease in the spine rather, I'm going to put that up to my 6-inch mark, and I'm going to go ahead and trim it to 6 inches. And then I'm going to put the next crease on the other side to the 6-inch mark right there, and I'm going to trim that to 6 inches. So I'm going to set these aside because I can probably use these for either tags or pockets or whatever. So this is my cover right here. Whoops. This is going to be the cover for my journal. And what I'm going to go ahead and do next is measure 1 inch down. And my eraser is gone, but my point of the pencil is intact. So I'm gonna go, this is I'm just gonna fold so I can make sure the ruler's right at the edge, and I'm gonna just mark 1 inch down. And then I'm going to mark I'm going to do the same thing on this side and make sure that it's right at in the center. And mark about 1 inch up. Which should give me about 7 inches in the middle. So you got 7, 8, 9. So I'm gonna do a mark from the center to 3.5 from the 1 inch, I'm sorry. And let me just fold this again to make sure I have it. So I'm just going to mark 3.5, which is really at the 4.5 mark because I have the 1 inch up here. So those should be, I actually didn't get this close in. Oops, 4.5, sorry. So here, here, and here are my marks. And I don't have another eraser. So let me try to use this little thing so I don't confuse myself. Okay. So then what I'm gonna do is, let me get my little T ruler. That should help me. Well, this one is not long enough. I do have a longer T ruler, hold on. So I'm gonna use this T ruler. And I'm just to keep me straight. And I'm just sort of gonna estimate the center in between this crease and that point. Oops. And I'm just gonna guesstimate, yeah. And I know here where my little point is, so I'm just gonna use that over here, my point of reference. So I know I have it lined up correctly. And it's just gonna be right here. And right here. So those are gonna be the stitch points for my signatures. So here's my marker. And right here. Okay, so these are going to be just the stitch points for my signatures. So that's going to be the inside of my journal. And then the outside, I had purchased this a while back, this piece of burlap at the Dollar Tree with the bees on it. And I intended to use this, but I'm not so sure, you know, if I glue this on, how it's gonna hold. So if I glue it on, I might wind up having to pull out the sewing machine, which I haven't used in years. So this is my dilemma. Let me see, I'm gonna try to line up the bees on top with the edge. All right, you know what? Let's just give this a go. Let's see how this is gonna work. I'm gonna use the Fabri-Tac, and I put my little Dragonfly glue topper on the Fabri-Tac, and let's see how this is gonna work. I'm gonna try to get it really close to the edge, and I'm gonna only do one side at a time, and then I'll do the spine. I'm gonna try to get as much on here as I can. when I put the cover on, I'm going to kind of give it a smush to kind of try to spread the glue with the actual burlap. Put some more in that corner. I took it off with my finger. And let's see what happens. So I'm going to take this burlap and I'm going to try to line up these bees on the top with what I can see. And I don't want this to be super crooked. So I was gonna cut the burlap and fold it over, but if I fold it over, I think I'm gonna have issues like with the thickness and putting pockets or whatever, because that burlap is gonna add some thickness to the edge of the inside of the cover. So I think I'm gonna have to stitch it. And I don't want to do the whole cover at once because I want to give the glue some time to adhere. So let me pull it back and see now if I can get some glue all over the spine. So I'm trying to get as much glue down as I can, especially along the edge. All right, so let me see if I can get the spine stuck down. Seems to be sticking pretty well. So let me slide it over and try to do this other half of the cover. There's a lot of burlap. Okay, so try to get it as close to the edge as I can. Put as much glue. A lot of glue I'm trying to get on here and hoping that this here isn't drying as I'm spreading on the top. So let's go ahead and smush the last side down. feel like I got like a bubble right here that didn't get glue. I wonder if I kind of will put some glue on top, if I could kind of squish it down. Let's see if it'll stick. I'm gonna put a little bit of pressure on it for a second here. Yeah, so I got it to stick down. All right, so let me get my good scissor, and I'm gonna flip this over, and I'm gonna trim the excess burlap off. I'm gonna leave an edge until after I sew it, and then I'll trim it better. Hold on. That's not very straight, but I guess it doesn't have to be. I'm gonna wind up cutting it off. Yeah, so I'm excited to finally get this bee journal started. As you know, I already made the dangle for it. And so and then I'll save these pieces of burlap, because maybe I'll use some of the bees cut out for some of the ephemera, or just the burlap in general, like to make clusters and stuff for the journal. Okay, so that didn't turn out half as bad as I thought it would. So I didn't think the burlap was gonna work, but I think it will. So there goes the cover. Let me see what happens when I fold it. Fold it on that crease. And then I'm gonna fold it on this crease. And I'm gonna have 3 signatures. And so this is what my cover will look like. And I have a 3/4 inch spine. And I didn't do too badly with getting the bees on there pretty straight, so I'm happy about that. And what I might end up doing is, once I stitch this around, I don't know if I should put like some sort of seam binding around it, just to keep the edges from fraying, or leave it frayed, and that's gonna be the look of the cover. So we'll see. I'm gonna try to stitch it as close to the edge as I can. So I'll be right back with a stitched cover. Okay folks, here I am back with my bee journal cover. So I stitched it all around after having glued it down with the Fabri-Tac. And as you can see, when I flip it over, I did an absolutely terrible job stitching it. My stitches are not straight whatsoever. My thread broke at some points here and there, so I had to restitch. When I trimmed all the threads, I just glued down the bits so that they wouldn't be in the way. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover the inside with this bee paper. And it's not long enough So what I'm gonna do is cut it down 6 by 6, cover each of the sides, and then I'll put a strip of something, maybe the same thing left over, and I'll put it down the center. And then what I also did before I came back on camera was, since I'm gonna cover the inside, I'm gonna lose the placement for my holes. And so what I did was I took an extra piece of the file folder that I had cut, and I clipped it back here with a binder clip, and I took my paper awl and I punched through all of the holes so that I have a template here so that I can make the holes, punch the holes through once it's covered, and so that I can also punch the holes in alignment on my signatures with the holes that are already on the cover. So I made this little template, and so now what I'm gonna do is cover the inside. And another thing that I'm gonna do is I went all around the edge with a bead of glue and then smoothed it out because it was really fraying badly. And so what I think I'm gonna do is, I have this honeycomb ribbon. So what I think I'm gonna do is, once the inside is covered, I'm gonna glue down some of this ribbon on the sides. I don't know if I'll do the top and bottom. Maybe I'll just do the sides and leave the top as is, because really the top and the bottom is really what's going to get the most, you know, touching going on. And this is, you know, all glued down. So I'll just maybe leave that alone. But I want to do the ribbon at least on the sides. And I'll decide that once I get going. And so if you want to stick around, and I'm going to go ahead and cover the inside now. So I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to cut it in half at 6. I don't need this arm extended. I think I just broke my arm. No, it's good. Anyway, so I'm going to cut the paper at 6. Actually, you know what? Let me cut it at 9 first, all the way across. So I'm going to cut it at 9 because that's the length of the page. Oops. That's the length of the cover. And now I'm going to cut it down to 6, which should be half. And my blade is not great, so I get these frayed edges. I'm thinking about buying a rotary cutter, but I've not sure if I should buy the Fiskars one or the Tim Holtz one. If anybody has any opinion on what to do, I'd appreciate that information in the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. Yeah, you know what? Seems to be just a little bit longer, so I'm going to take a hair off of it. Not that much. Take a little bit off this one too. And I find that if I start like in the middle, I won't get those frayed edges as badly. But I need a new blade. Anyway, I think I just ruined the paper. I guess that determines whether or not I put the ribbon on the top and bottom as well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my art glitter glue for this. And I put my little glue topper that I made with the peace sign, the feather, and the love charm. So I have it on my glue. I really love this one. I love the color of the beads. But let's get going. So I'm gonna cover this. And I'm gonna go ahead and stick this one on, and then I'm gonna shut the camera down again because you don't need to see me glue these on. You know, you've seen one side, you've seen it all, and then I'm also gonna glue on the ribbon, and then I'll be back with that. Oh, actually, before I go, oh crap, hold on, sorry guys, there's one more thing I want to put on the cover. I want to make sure that doesn't interfere with the fold, and it is going to interfere with the fold, so I need to scooch it over. Anyway, so that's that. And then the other thing that I didn't tell you that I was gonna do is I have these little door knocker things that are brads. What I did was the brad little legs were too long to go, you know, across the spine, and I couldn't put it downwards because it would cover the center hole. So I snipped the legs of the brads short, so that when I go ahead and punch a hole, I can put it in there and then have this to hang my dangle off of on the outside of the cover. So I'll be right back once both the inside covers are put on, the ribbon is put on, and this little door knocker is put on, so that you could see the final cover. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are with the I would say 80% complete cover for my bee journal. I think it still needs something. It looks rather plain, and I might put something like some sort of cluster or other kind of design on the front. But I want to start getting the the signatures ready and the ephemera, and as I figure out what this journal is gonna look like and the style of the ephemera and everything else, then I'll decide what the final cover embellishment will be. But this is the final cover for now. Like I said, about 80% complete. I put my little bee dangle on it, and I added the little door knocker. So that's how it will look. Whoops. So that's how that looks. And then I put the ribbon all around. and I covered it on the inside with the paper, and I did a ribbon along the spine to give it a little bit more strength. And this ribbon is light enough that I can still see the little holes, so punching the holes for the signatures shouldn't be an issue. I was debating whether or not I should put corners on it, but I've only got bronze corners, and I really didn't like the way they looked. But I'll see. I'll figure it out as the time goes along, because this is gold. I didn't want to put the bronze. You know, this knocker is bronze, but it's all I had, and it's small, and it's on the side, and it really won't be that visible. But yeah, this is my my cover, and the next video on my bee journal series will be the signatures, and then the ephemera and decorating everything. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Pretty happy with how the cover turned out. As I said, I'll add more embellishment to it as I figure out what the inside of the journal is going to look like. And so that'll be coming up soon. Next week I'll start with this. I'll start making the signatures, and then we'll go from there. So thank you all for watching. As usual, please like, share, subscribe, and press the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos that I post. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.